Hi everyone. Today we're going to travel to the continent of Africa. Here's a map of Africa. There's a lot of different countries in Africa. Some of the ones they have on here are Tunisia, Egypt, Uganda, and Tanzania. So we'll talk about Africa. Africa is the second largest continent in the world. There are 54 countries on this continent. Are you ready to explore some incredible places in Africa? Let's go. Africa Day is celebrated on May 25th. Ooh, that's coming up soon. In many countries in Africa, people celebrate the different customs of Africa. So remember that we talked about a continent as a big piece of land, and on the continent there's lots of countries. So there's 54 countries in Africa. That's more than Europe. Europe only had 44. So today we're going to talk more about the customs in Africa. Customs are actions or way of behaving, things that people and families pass on to their children and their grandchildren. Like blowing out birthday candles could be a custom, things that you do to celebrate. So that's what we're going to talk about, that on Africa Day, people celebrate their different cultures. In December each year, in the country of Tunisia, the International Festival of the Sahara is held. The Sahara is the largest desert in the world. During the festival, the Saharian way of life is celebrated. People play music, eat food, and race camels and horses across the desert sands. It looks like fun, doesn't it? So remember, a festival is like a party, and desert is a dry, sandy place. The Sahara Desert's very large. If I show you my map again, do you see the dark part of the map at the top? That's the Sahara Desert. So camels, remember, are animals that live in the deserts of Africa. They have a hump on their back. Camels also live in Asia, but those camels have two humps on their backs. So they're a little different. What's the name of the largest desert in the world? Did you say the Sahara Desert? That's correct. Mount Kilimanjaro rises up above the plains of the country of Tanzania. It's the highest mountain in Africa. Its snowy peaks can be seen far and wide. You've already heard about the second longest river in the world, the Amazon in South America. Well, now the Nile River is the longest river in the world. It flows from north across Egypt and into the Mediterranean Sea. So remember we talked about plains or flatlands that don't usually have very many trees. Do you see some plains at the top in Tanzania? But then in the background there's a mountain, a very large mountain. Remember that mountain, the peak is the top of the hill or the mountain. And often they're covered with snow year round because they are very high up in the air and it's cold up there. So at the top you can also see pictures of giraffes. Giraffes run wild in Africa. They have long necks, they have 4 legs, often have spotted fur. They are the tallest mammal in the world, and they only need to drink water every couple of days. So they actually run pretty fast within short distances. So what is the highest mountain in Africa called? Mount Kilimanjaro. And what is special about the Nile River? It's the longest river in the world. I'm going to try to show you that on the map, but you can't really see it very well. If you have a map at home, you can ask your parents to show you. African elephants live in different parts of Africa. The African elephant is the largest land mammal in the world. African elephants have very large ears and long curved tusks. African elephants flap their ears when they are either happy or sad. The cute baby. So tusks are like long teeth that come out of both sides of the animal's mouth. And sadly, sometimes they get killed over there in Africa because people want to use their tusks for the ivory. It's worth lots of money. What do elephants look like? So they are large mammals with gray skin, big ears, long tusks. What do they do with their ears when they're happy or sad? Yes, they move them. Lions live on the grasslands and in the open woodlands of Africa. Lions live together in groups called prides. Lions spend most of the day sleeping. It is up to the female lion to hunt for food. Remember what female means? That means girl. So the girl goes hunting for food. So they live on the grasslands. Remember, that's like flat lands with lots of grass. Maybe a few trees, but not very many. And then the female lion is the one that gives birth to the baby lions. And you're probably more used to seeing a male lion, a boy lion. They have the big mane, the big bushy thing around their head. The female lions do not have that. So what are some animals that live in Africa? Camels, giraffes, elephants, and lions. And that is our trip to Africa. One last thing before you go to do your passport. On our map I showed you, they didn't talk about Uganda. I thought they might. Uganda, I believe, is where Fiona's from. Fiona, you let me know if I'm wrong, but I think if my memory serves me right, that's where you were born. All right, go do your passport pages, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.